You know, when I first thought I would start talking about, and yes, I just picked my nose. When I first thought I was going to talk about John Anthony, you know, he's like a dating coach that I've watched for a long time, and I just think he's a massive clown, okay? But for the longest time, I wanted to talk about him, and I had no idea that he would actually encroach into my space, boy. That's right, we're talking about the personal finance space, the stock space. Because apparently John is trying to build this massive empire where he has all these different, like, experts in different fields, you know, how to seduce women at the club or whatever, how to grift on stock options, all sorts of crap. Anyway, he wants to, you know, build this empire where he's pulling in, you know, millions and millions and millions of dollars a month. And to complete this empire, it looks like he's considering bringing on this guy named Bulldog Mindset. John Sonmez, whatever his freaking name is. Now, in full disclosure, because I know he'll probably bring this up if he ever acknowledges me. When I had 100 subscribers, my idea was like, maybe I'll pay a guy to talk about me for like $80, and, you know, maybe I'll get, a couple hundred subs out of that. And I emailed Bulldog Mindset. I was like, hey, can I, how much do I have to pay you to give me a shout out? And he's like, $1,000. I didn't pay him. And eventually I grew my channel organically. I did use Aaron Cleary, you know, great guy. He actually charged me a reasonable rate. I got like 100 or so subscribers from it. But anyway, John Sonmez. So I was watching this interview where, you know, John Anthony had John Sonmez on his channel. And he was talking about how to, like, get wealthy. And let me try to summarize what sounds like his philosophy, okay? And John, if you get, I know you're probably going to sue me for this too. You can't have an opinion on John Anthony or his associates, because if you do, it's defamation. It's defamation. So I was watching the video, and John Sonmez, basically what he says is, you need to start a business. And then once you're making enough money from your business, you need to go ahead and invest in real estate, bro. But as I was watching this interview, he also went into a bunch of degenerate things that really pissed me off and really showed me this guy's a scammer, okay? And that's my opinion. I'm not a scammer. I'm a good guy. Cash out your 401k, bro. So, in the video, John and John talked about some J&J, Johnson & Johnson, dickhead and dickhead. Talked about some crazy things. Number one, they both said that they had cashed out their 401ks to start their business. And they basically kind of, you know, dissed the 401k. Because if you buy real estate, you know, you can get richer so much faster than if you do when you're investing in your 401k. Well, here's what happens when you cash out your 401k, and these guys don't understand this. They talked about the 10% penalty. Because if you take a early distribution from your 401k, you get a penalty. You get a 10% penalty on top of that. However, there's another thing that happens that will absolutely freaking wreck you. Let's say you have $150,000 in a 401k, and you take out all $150,000 to you build your business. Well, that $150,000 is added on top of your income. So if you make $100K a year, now you make $250K a year. And guess what that does? That pushes you into a higher tax bracket and will subject you potentially, depending on how much you pull out and how much you make, to net investment income tax, the additional Medicare tax, and you're paying higher taxes both at the federal and possibly the state level. So the tax consequences are absolutely enormous. You will pay a massive percentage of that distribution because you go into a higher tax bracket and you got to pay the 10% penalty. And never forget, a lot of states tax income too. Some don't. A lot of them do. Okay? So you're going to get, by taking out money from your 401k, you get absolutely hammered. Now, you do whatever you want. I'm just giving you the material. But I think that's a stupid idea. Okay? And then John Sonmez, Bulldog, starts talking about how, you need to start a business. And, just start a business, bro. Okay, if you're a young guy with no skills, you don't have you can't start a business unless it's a freaking scam, okay? 99% of the time, if there's a business out there that you could start with zero skills, it's probably a scam, or it's a very saturated business, which, guess what, leads to low margins. So if you want to actually start a business, why not do like, I don't know, my buddy Andrew Maynard did, or, maybe something I'll do in the future. We'll see. Start your own business after you get a skill. Because Andrew, he worked in auditing, he worked in tax, he did people's taxes, and then he started his own tax firm because he's highly specialized and he's highly skilled. That's a business you could start, but you have to have freaking skills. You can't just be some dolt. Oh, I'm 20, I haven't done a business. And you like barely passed high school and you have no freaking real skills. If you start a business, it's either going to be a scam, grifting, or it's going to be, some saturated business with low margins. And you're probably going to lose all your money. What else did old John Sonmez talks? So he basically said, if you invest in the S&P 500, I mean, it's free money. You really think it's free money? Well, there's a reason you get returns from stocks. Number one, they're volatile and you're taking a risk. And you're compensated for that risk by higher returns in the long run. If you let's say you buy a bond, right? Well, you get a guaranteed, nominal rate of return. You get the interest payment, blah, 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 blah. If you buy a stock, well, that company could go bankrupt. Its earnings could collapse in the future. You don't know. There's more risk tied up into a stock. And if you're buying the S&P 500 or you're buying the global index, well, yes, you're diversifying and you're taking less risk. You're also growing your wealth as the world becomes wealthier, okay? So yes, stocks are you're not going to get instantly rewarded with stocks. You could buy an index for years and it could just go down and down and down and down. But in the long run, as the world becomes a better place, if that's your assumption, which that's my assumption, you will be rewarded as the world becomes wealthier and companies get more earnings and everything becomes better, okay? That's why stocks go up in the long run. It's as simple as that. Companies around the world, when you add them all up, there's more earnings, okay? Because the world becomes better. We get better technology, people become more productive, blah, 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 blah. And then John Sonmez was like, oh, Bulldog, BS. He was like, oh, if you really want to invest, you should, do a complex options what do you say? Options chains. Options chain. What is that? So if you really want to make money, you can invest in, just do options, bro. What is a stock option? It's a gamble on a fluctuation of a currency. And all you option shills that get all mad, oh, you can sell cover calls and cash secured puts. And blah. Stop, okay? You're just freaking gambling. And if you're selling puts, guess what? You're gonna be, if you get exercise, you're gonna be highly concentrated in whatever stupid stock is the underlying security of the option. It's freaking stupid, okay? You're gonna lose all your freaking money. Have you noticed that when all the clown market was going on, everybody was talking about options? Yeah, because it's a freaking highly risky scam, okay? You're gonna lose your freaking money, especially now, screwing around with options like a clown, okay? What else did John? Oh, God. Like, there was so much BS in this interview that it just blew my freaking mind. And this is the guy that John Anthony wants to bring on. Like, it's like, oh, my God. Like, stay in the dating sphere, dude. Why are you bringing on this freaking clown? Oh, just buy real estate, bro. Just buy real estate. So, apparently, if you just invest in real estate, it always goes up. And, you can just keep buying new properties. You don't need to put money in a 401k. And, you take your business earnings because you somehow had a business, even though you have no freaking skills. Business, bro. And, before you know, you'll have this massive real estate empire and you'll be financially independent. Now, he was saying that stocks are easy, which they're not. I want to see somebody actually be diamond hands enough to hold an index when it crashes massively, or a stock when it crashes massively. Most people can't freaking do it. They freaking trade in and out. It's actually really hard to be an index fund investor in the long run. But if you're buying real estate, okay, real estate is very risky. It's very, very risky because there's almost no diversification. You're buying one property in one location. You don't know what's going to happen to that housing market, number one. And you don't know if your guesses, your calculations are correct. You may think you're going to get a certain amount of cash flow from real estate, And it turns out you were entirely freaking wrong. You have a bunch of vacancies, or you have, your tenants freaking destroy the house, or you have to do a bunch of freaking maintenance. To have a rental property, you need to have a lot of money, okay? You really do. Because what happens is stuff breaks, and you have to have a lot of capital sitting on the sides to fix that stuff. You need lots of freaking money. And if you're just some clown, some young guy, and you don't really have a skill, and you don't really have any money, okay, you're just gonna get freaking screwed, especially if you're inexperienced with real estate. Just buy real estate, bro. So, if you put all the numbers into a fancy chart, it makes it seem like, it makes sense. You just buy real estate, and then you buy another property, and then you buy another property, and your cash flow is this. And before you know it, your passive income is this. It's amazing. It's not how it works. And guess what? Let's say you want to sell a rental property, all right? And you've been depreciating it. Well, there's this thing called recapture. If you sell a rental property at a gain, and a part of that gain comes from depreciation, which it probably will, that's all going to be recaptured as ordinary income. You're going to be taxed to death. You're going to have a massive capital gain if you sell your rental property to secure your financial independence, okay? There's a lot that goes into this stuff. It isn't just as simple as, just buy real estate, bro. Now, can you be successful in real estate? Absolutely. But, it seems to me like a lot of scams seem to go around real estate investing. The person comes on the airwaves and they're like, just buy real estate, bro, and you don't have to just cash out your 401k and do this, and you just have a massive rental empire, okay? You can do it, but it's freaking hard, and most likely you're going to fail. You're going to screw something up, especially now with interest rates so high, and you have trying to secure financing when you don't make jack, when you have some crappy business. Good freaking luck with that, okay? So I'm going to be exploring this clown a lot more because I thought John Som, the Bulldog Mindset, was just like a dating coach fitness guy. Like, okay, whatever, fitness, dating, whatever, But now he's getting into finance. Why? Because it's popular. And I think he realized if you just sell a dream to somebody and tell people to cash out their 401k and start a business, you can make a lot of money. So I'll be exploring this a lot more. But that whole interview, it shocked me. I thought he was going to be like a reasonable guy. Like, you should make a lot of money. You should save diligently, and you should max your tax advantage accounts. No, exact freaking opposite. It was gross and disgusting. Sadly, I can't react to it because right now I don't have time, and I have a job like a loser. Okay, and the last thing they said, or at least John said, somebody said it. One of the Johns said it. Oh, college is worthless. Well, what? Why would you go to college? You can learn everything outside of college that you can. You don't have to pay for it. You can just learn everything by yourself, bro. Yeah, I want to see somebody master, I don't know, dentistry or accounting or nursing without going to freaking college. All of which rewards you with high pay, which you can then use to actually build wealth, okay? See, a guy like me, I'm in a position where I can invest in real estate. I'm in a position where I can potentially start my own business because I have a skill which I learned in college and from working in the real world, okay? But no, if you're just some pimply dork, you're not just gonna start a business, start a real estate empire, and be financially independent in 5 or 10 years. It's a freaking joke. It's a freaking joke, all right? Well, that's it. You think whatever you want. I'm sure I'll get a cease and desist. You can't criticize somebody that says cash out your 401k, trade options, and just buy real estate, bro. That's all you gotta do. And I wonder if he's gonna venture into crypto. I need to look into his channel more, see if he's talked about crypto. Oh my God, this makes me sick. This makes me absolutely sick. People want to get rich fast, okay? And I get it. You want to be financially free. You want to be jacked. You want to have hot checks. You want to make a lot of money. But 99% of the time, if you're doing that, you're probably grifting or you're buying into a pipe dream, okay? But whatever, all those guys, they have their own businesses. What do I know? I'm just an idiot that, has a full-time job. I save diligently. I try to max my tax advantage accounts. I'm just a moron. And here's the cherry on the top. Do you know that you can start your own business and still max your tax advantage accounts? That's exactly what I did. My YouTube channel is a business. My tutoring website is a freaking business. I guess my book sales are a business or royalties. But I have businesses that I'm starting and I'm working on and I'm trying to grow, and I have a full-time job and I'm maxing my tax advantage accounts. You don't need to cash out your freaking 401k to start a business or to invest in real estate, okay? Because if you maximize your income, you max your tax advantage accounts, and you have money left over, if you want to venture into real estate, you could. Like, I could do that if I wanted to. I don't want to, but I could potentially venture into real estate. But I'd rather, diversify and buy every stock in the world than buy a rental property, which could go to absolute hell. Okay, so I love it. It's like the perfect tie-in where I can really start, criticize, because I see a lot of grifting. I really do. I like it. I don't know. It's gross to me. All right, guys, that's it. There's traffic, very bad traffic. I'm gonna be late to work. Oh well. Cheers.